We're joined right now on RealAgriculture.com by Mark Wales. He was just re-elected about an hour ago to the presidency of the OFA once again. Welcome today, Mark.
Welcome. Good afternoon.
Mark, as we said, congratulations, and just wanted to talk to you about some of your areas of focus. You know, what are some of the priorities that you want to have you or OFA working on, you know, in your next term as president?
Currently, our parliament is prorogued and has been for, I guess, the better part of a month now. And the governing Liberal Party, the Premier, has resigned effective January the 25th. So they're having a leadership convention, which we know will lead to a spring election. So one of our real challenges is that with the House not sitting, we have to find ways to link. Now, the opening of our convention today, the Agriculture Minister was my first speaker this morning. The leader of the official opposition will and the leader of the NDP party, which is our third party in the chair, Andrea Horvath, she was the next speaker. So that's the first time we've ever had that. We are going to be spending a lot of time making sure that what's important to OFA members, in other words, the farmers and people that live in rural Ontario, the issues that we need either fixed or things done about, are hopefully of all three parties' policies going into what we know will either be an April or May election.
And so, what are some of those issues that Ontario farmers are really dealing with right now? What are you hearing the most about?
Regulation is probably the surveys that we've done all focus around the amount of regulation that we have to deal with as farmers. So that comes from a number of different pieces of legislation, many of which have either been created new or old legislation that was upgraded during the last 8 years. So we have the Endangered Species Act is one that's a real problem, because there's a scientific committee who decide that, well, the population of the bobolink, to use one as an example, is declining, so it needs to go on the protected list. Well, the moment that happens, the bobolink happen to nest in hayfields, and their nesting period is right during farmers' first cut of hay. The only solution is don't cut the hay, because you can't just leave part of the field for the bobolink. They don't know how to read and go to that special part of the field. We have a moratorium on right now for 3 years, but that expires after the 2014 hay season. We need to get that whole process evolved so that when a species comes along, that it just doesn't make sense to just protect the habitat, that the minister can have some veto over the committee and work towards a better solution.
What about growing forward too? What's the OFA's opinion on the implementation of that?
Well, we have two things. The business risk management program, so that's Agri-Stability, Agri-Invest, Agri-Insurance, and Agri-Recovery. Of course, they've just been, Agri-Stability and Agri-Invest have just been gutted. There's no other way to describe it. With the redesign of Agri-Stability and the reduction of coverage under Agri-Invest, the federal minister's goal at least $430 million a year over the next 5 years, and he will achieve that and then some. The sad part is those programs, Agri-Stability especially, was already paying out half as much as it did 3 or 4 years ago, and that's because crop prices had improved and livestock as well. So the program was working the way it was supposed to. When there was a serious downturn, it paid out. When there wasn't, it didn't. Now it's been gutted. Even when there is a serious downturn, because of the redesign, it just isn't going to pay out at all because it's providing so much less coverage. That's something that we're stuck with for the next 5 years. We'll still keep reminding them it's wrong. We'll hope there isn't a huge downturn in any one of our sectors in the meantime, but we already do have one in the hog sector. So that's going to be implemented April 1st. The key we're working on now is we're engaged in consultations with our provincial Minister of Agriculture on the non-BRM suite of programs. Those consultations will be wrapping up over the next 2 weeks. So that's on, we're sort of putting forth our priorities, programs like the Environmental Farm Plan program, which originated in Ontario and is very, very popular here, and helps us do environmental remediation farm by farm. Food safety programs, another priority area, and figuring out what innovation means, because that's been a word that's been well used by everyone but not well defined. So we want to see that there's support for innovative on-farm projects so that farmers can do things to be innovative and therefore more productive and more sustainable. So we're working through those details because, of course, those programs as well start on April the 1st.
Okay, Mark, well, thank you very much. And once again, congratulations on the re-election and good luck with the presidency.
You're welcome, Sean. Have a good day.